Hi YouTube, Darth here. I'm going to try out something new today. In fact, a couple of new things. Firstly, I'm starting this new series, Against the Grain. In this series, I'm going to be trying to do things that I don't normally do and usually avoid. As I try working against the grain, I'll talk more about my ideas as I try to overcome the challenge I'm facing. Today's target is lockers, and the worst part of lockers, the choke points at sea. I never cross into these areas unless I have to, and with good reason. Let's look at the threats usually presented on a 64-player server. First, you have the entryway, which is usually saturated with grenades. This by itself is a death trap. Second, if you haven't lost half or more of your life to a grenade, you've got the extreme likelihood of facing at least one enemy in the doorway. You have to win this coin toss to even cross into the area beyond. And then comes the final test, the inside of C. If you made it here, you can expect enemies to be targeting you from left, right, in front of you, and above in the stairwell. You can mitigate some of these dangers by going below C, but the level of gunfire you will likely face intensifies from one or two combatants to possibly an entire squad or more, and the tunnel you have to pass through is much longer. So I'm going to focus on the upper level. Let's see how I fare. Alright, as you can see, that didn't go very well. But I wanted to show you that I didn't give up there, and I did try a few more times to try and get through here with just the AEK. The problem I kept running into is that enemies would breach the room and I'd have to reload. Or I'd kill one guy after peeking and then have to reload again. So I'd run out of a safety net of bullets just as I was about to breach the main room. So, what can I do about this? Alright, so firstly, I'm running out of ammo, so I need to fix that problem. Support it is. I'm going to need some cover when I get in there, so I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to go for the flashbang. Now I know from experience that the flashbang is not going to be able to cover me by itself. So I'm going to use this in concert with a little bit of smoke and see how this fares. So I started by laying down a smoke screen and trying to cover as much of the open area as possible. I tried to limit my exposure so I didn't get clipped while I was laying down the smoke, and now I'm trying to cover both sides with a flashbang. This is my first successful incursion into the room, but at the same time, I should have stayed and helped clean out that doorway so that more of my teammates got through. Instead, I continued to just run along in the level and try to go and backcamp them some. The next time I made it through, I stuck around the entrance and cleaned up any enemies that tried to push back. This gave my teammates time to get through and eventually led to us capturing the point. Although I have to emphasize that the number of times that I actually managed to peek through and get through was limited and rare, but I'll get to that in my breakdown here in a couple of seconds. So, to break this all down, here's what I learned about this particularly challenging area of the map. Firstly, as a lone wolf, you're not going to be able to get through this point, even with a lot of smoke and explosions. There are simply too many bodies and you're one soldier. The times when I had the most success, though, were when I used this covering strategy and teammates were pushing along with me. This, though, was super rare, and I tried to create opportunities for my team to do this when I could. Additionally, I saw plenty of teammates spending a lot of time trying to chuck grenades into the hole and kill the enemy. Though this is merely kill farming, will never ever reduce the enemies to the point of retreat. So ultimately from this experience, I learned that the middle is a death trap that I expected. Grenades, explosions, and sometimes endless amounts of enemies conspire to prevent passage. The only advice I can give players is to leave enough to defend it and simply flank to the outside in the snow. You'll have far more success breaching C from behind than you will a narrow passage. Oh, and one last thing. I did try everything to get to that point. Thanks again, YouTube, for watching. And if you have a suggestion for the next Against the Grain, I'd love to hear them. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more Battlefield 4 videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.